and welcome to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and I am, as always, your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai,
Finn Fisher,
Nolani Stevenson,
Regin Starkweather,
and Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
And we are back in the Lunluma Ocean. So, let's do a little recap, and then we will dive right in. Last session, the party found themselves standing between an enraged, wild lurker of the deep and the undersea metropolis of Nephtis, as the lurker, enraged by the attempts on his life, became a force of destruction that would have wiped out anything in its path.
Me when there are attempts on my life.
Yeah, really, who can blame him? However, the three of you and some members of the cult of the Lurker, including Finn's mom, Adriana, managed to get between the Lurker and the city and managed to do enough damage to him to sort of snap him out of his rage. The Lurker calmed down, did a couple laps around the ocean around you, and then stopped in front of your party and thanked you for protecting him from the High Priestess's attempt on his life and protecting the city from the rage that her attempt unleashed. He then took Finn with him to go have some father-son bonding time.
We're gonna toss the ball around a little.
Yeah, play catch. No, instead you swam throughout what is truly, to Finn's mind, impossible to tell exactly how many miles you may have covered, or whether it was just a sort of connection with all the seas at once. But throughout the Lurker's domain. Leaving Malachi and Regin behind with the guards outside of Nephtis and the remnants of the cult, kind of picking themselves up and putting themselves back together. But we're going to start with Finn and the Lurker. Finn, you are swimming beside the Lurker in the deep, this massive being, all... Now that you're not actively engaged in battle with him, you can kind of, like, appreciate his true form more. This massive, sort of... It's hard to put him in the categories of other marine life, definitely some cephalopod-like tentacles, but also these fish-like scales, the way that he moves almost like a sea snake or an eel, and you are just swimming along kind of like right next to his head, hearing this like low hum that reverberates out from him throughout the oceans. Other sea life is swimming alongside the two of you as well, no longer scattering. It's instead like being at the head of a school of fish that are all just kind of trailing in the Lurker's wake and following along with these ocean currents. The Lurker's like deep, rumbly voice is like,
I'm glad to finally have you here in this part of the sea.
My God, I mean, you think you're glad? I am. Oh my God, I'm thrilled. This is all I've ever wanted. This is incredible. Hey.
Hello.
There's this deep, like, rumbly laugh that goes out as he says that.
I do not usually speak in human languages.
That explains your accent.
Yes, it's unfamiliar and unnecessary. Too many words. Fish speak mostly in thoughts and images.
Don't I know it?
Human language is clumsy.
Yeah. Did you know that, I mean, obviously you probably know, but, I mean, did you know even there's no word in common for the exact feeling you get when you can feel the water get slightly colder and you know you've descended to a new level of depth in the sea?
This rumble of disappointment goes out. And it's like,
See?
I know!
Inefficient, unsatisfactory. But I am communicating with you using this language now. because I don't know when I'll be able to again.
Uh-huh. Wait, what do you mean? We're not going to be able to talk again?
Oh, I don't know. The nature of my form and the ebb and flow of the ocean and as I said, I do not prefer to use language.
But I mean, we'll still be sort of in touch, right? Just because lately, if you've noticed, it's been a weird thing. Like, I feel like our connection's been weak. I haven't been able to commune with you. You know, I sent you a couple letters, and I never got a response. I mean, what's up with that?
You hear again this sort of, like, rippling hum or sigh. And the Lurker says,
My attentions of late have been diverted. There were many human magic encroaching on the ocean, on my territory and on other parts of the ocean. As the humans were threatening me, I withdrew myself, and it may have withdrawn from you a bit as well.
he sounds like about as regretful as it's possible for a god to sound. Like, there's a little bit of that awkward, like, my bad, kind of in the tone, even if he's not saying that in his words.
So I just wasn't a priority, then?
Oh, get his ass!
My son, I am a great god of the seas.
Oh, I know.
There are many creatures that are demanding on my authority and on my attention, but you are a wielder of my power in a way that no one or no other being in this ocean is.
Oh. Really? I mean, I guess I always sort of assumed that, but nice to have it confirmed.
You're, especially over the past, what do humans call them? Weeks? Eons? Over the...
Potato.
Okay, over the past eons, your power has grown.
Sorry, do you know what a potato is?
No.
It's not important. Tomato.
I don't know what that is either. Over the...
kelp.
Ah, yes. Now I understand. Your power has grown in magnitude and speed more than any of my followers. Most of them, it would take years to reach the level that you have reached this quickly. That is what comes with you being my son.
Yeah. I am your son.
Yes.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, because I was a little... I mean, there's... Well, I guess I should start with what are you exactly? Because Adriana, she said she's my mom, she told me about Cito, and then Cito became you, and so who... Is he my dad, or you the same? What?
He is your father, and he is me, and I am him. So you are my son.
Okay, so you're the Father and the Holy Spirit at the same time.
I don't know what that means.
Holy duology.
Got it, yeah, and then I'm the Son.
Sure. I feel like this analogy does not actually line up, even if I knew what they were, but...
Oh, well, okay, good, because that...
And as such, you are also the son of the ocean itself, and of the movement of the currents, and the fear in men's hearts when they see the blackness of the ocean beneath them.
Finn smiles with his row of still sharp teeth that he has in lurker form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear that rumble of laughter again.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I'm sorry. God, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to say. I mean, it's been so long. I've waited so long to be able to just face-to-face talk to you. I mean, I would have liked if we could do this sooner, honestly. If I didn't have to almost die a few times to get here. Would have been nice.
Yes. I did think I could have appeared once I became aware of you. I could have appeared off the shore of Gilsbury and,
You could have?
certainly, but it would have you were safe there in the entire village. I am aware of the effect that my appearance has on most humans.
Yeah.
So, my true form swimming to the populated centers is not something I do.
Oh.
Not to mention the harm that a large group of humans can do to even a god.
Oh, well, I guess that makes sense.
Besides, you learned and you grew in power during your quest to come to me.
Yeah, but I don't know, it feels like maybe I could have grown even faster in power if I was by your side, right?
Perhaps. Or perhaps not.
Well, you covered all the bases there.
I am not one of those gods who knows the future or every path.
I guess.
The ocean goes in many directions. A current that is one way one day may be different the next year.
You're so wise. I whispered to Nurgle. Nurgle, write that down.
Nurgle kind of like comes swimming up next to you from throughout this like cloud of fish that's all around you.
Is he a gull?
No, he's a squid thing, but he has a little gull-like beak that can still make those squawks.
And it serves as a quill.
And as he like comes up next to you, the lurker is like,
Ah, yes. Besides, I sent you one of my best companions to make sure that you weren't alone on your journey.
and one of his big tentacles kind of like reaches out and scratches Nurgle's head.
Oh, yeah, that's just how he likes it. Wow, and thank you for that. That's been incredible. I love Nurgle. He's my best friend. And I mean, thank you for that. So what now?
Well,
I mean, like, here I am, awaiting instructions. You know, do I go forth, carry out your dread name, blaze it on some banners? Well, I guess not blaze it, because fire is the opposite of water.
no.
Splash
Write
it?
it in water. Although water tends to be transient, it's part of the whole thing. So slowly erode it into the side of a mountain.
Well, I cast shape water and form some water into the word lurker
Yes,
in front of me.
That's good. Yes, my power grows as my name grows in the hearts of man, as the fear, the proper fear of the ocean grows in the hearts of man. The humans have become too full of their own power. They think that they can tame the ocean, that they can make the beings of the sea and all other beings who live on and around the sea under their power.
I know, it's reprehensible.
I exist to remind them that the ocean will not be so easily tamed, and that those who live from and on and around the ocean will not be so easily tamed. So that's what I would like you to do. Remind them of that.
Oh, I can do that. My eyes flash black for a second. Or maybe they're already glowing black when I'm in lurker form. I don't know. They do it even more intensely.
They flash. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I can do that. I mean, with all the power that I've gotten from you, I think I can strike some fear into some hearts. So, don't worry about that.
Good.
But should, and Finn gets quiet for a second. And he puts his hand up to his collarbone and is sort of grasping at something. He's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I will. I will do whatever you want me to. I mean, I've been spreading your name already, and now that I've got your blessing to really give him the what for, I mean, I will. I'll do it.
Good.
But, am I the best person to do it?
What makes you think you may not be?
Well, I mean, it's just, you know, before. I mean, listen, there's nothing I want more than to be a champion of the sea, to remind the surface world to fear the lurker's name, remind them that what lurks in the depths is far more powerful than they could ever be. But, I mean, I'm kind of one of them, right? Do you remember when you gave me my? I mean, I guess I don't know if this was a thing you did or a thing that happened to me when I fell in the ocean that day and I washed up on the shore, and after that I could feel you in me. I had magic because I didn't realize right away. You know, I went home and we did what's just the family business was we fished. I was a fisherman, and so we got out the day's catch. I mean, I took a moment to collect myself. They made me some soup, and then it was time to deal with the day's catch, and that was when I realized what I could do, because, I grabbed one of the fish we'd caught, it was still flopping around a little, and I took the knife, and I put it right in, and then I heard it in my head. And I did that. And I had done that to so many. I'd done that to hundreds, I don't know, maybe thousands of fish. I mean, I did that for years. I mean, the ocean can't wash that away. Can it?
You feel one of the tentacles come up and just kind of like wrap around you in the way that you saw the Lurker, like, only a few minutes ago, like, grabbing people and then, throwing them or eating them. But it's a lot more gentle. It just kind of, like, winds around you. And you hear this low rumbling. It's not quite a laugh, or if it is a laugh, it's, like, very gentle. But it's kind of like,
The shark eats the minnow. It is a part of the life of the ocean. The whale dies and falls to the bottom of the sea, and everything else feeds from it. The ocean feeds itself, and what you give to it can measure up to what you take away. Of course, I certainly understand not wanting to kill the creatures you can speak to. In fact, that's a good instinct. As you heard, I thanked you and your companions for stopping me from destroying the underwater city, the people who live from the ocean. But the ocean is a cycle of creatures who feed each other and live from each other and sometimes kill each other. There's no shame in being part of the cycle.
But, I mean, are you sure? I mean, we took them out of the water. We brought them on land. Is that really okay?
The ocean and the land are not so different as they may seem. Your little town on the edge of the beach gains all its life from the ocean and gives life back to the ocean as well. It is not separate. The waters from the ocean become the rain that falls on the land. It's all connected.
Huh. So it's that simple? Because, I mean, I've kept it with me the whole time. Finn reaches into his shirt and pulls out his arcane focus, a necklace around which hangs a small fish skeleton. He says, this was it. This was that one. This is the last fish I ever killed. If you discount some of the weird subaquatic monsters that have attacked me in the past few weeks. But, I mean, I've used it to focus the power from you. It's reminded me what I'm fighting against what I used to be, and that's just fine.
That fish gave you focus and something to fight for and something to remember and fight through. It gave to the cycle as well.
I guess so.
If you wish to protect all ocean life, to keep it from being killed by those who dwell on land or by anything, then good, but let it focus you and drive you. Do not let it hinder you, and certainly do not let it make you doubt whether you are worthy.
Okay. All right. So what are your sort of principles, I guess? Because there's sort of something of a theological crisis going on with the cult of the Lurker, and I honestly always assumed don't kill fish was like a big part of it, and apparently that's not. So I guess I'm looking for a little direction here, sort of a...
I'm not...
What are you about?
I'm not so much about clear moral stances.
Where do you stand on the human sacrifice, for instance? For or against? I'm good either way. Just let me know.
Generally, he's like thinking it over. He's not quite sure where he'd land. And then
Or, elf sacrifice, Triton sacrifice, what have you.
Unnecessarily, I'm against it.
See, but, what does unnecessarily mean?
All deaths should serve a purpose in the cycle of the ocean.
Okay. You get that, Nurgle? I turn to my scribe. Because this is gonna be big, when we come down off the mountain with this... Nurgle's been writing all this down.
Nurgle's scribing it to 2 stone tablets, yeah?
And what about you? Because, Hargoth, I don't know if you know Hargoth, kind of annoying, sort of a hardline guy, but I can respect some of what he stands for. He says that the sacrifice makes you stronger. is that an end to itself?
Am I not already strong?
This, ripples out throughout the ocean.
Oh, no, I did not mean to imply that your thalassic fury was anything less than total, okay, yeah.
Here's your answer.
Yep, got it. Okay. Nurgle, underline that.
Nurgle underlines it.
Okay,
You know what I won't stand for? Is a being that is dwelling near to a place where many other beings that look up to me is, and that is taking them and killing them, and is doing it all while proclaiming that I am no true god of these waters. That's what I won't stand for. I heard that you had a run-in with something. The currents were telling me.
Oh my god. Oh, the aboleth, that guy.
Yes.
Yeesh.
That.
Gag me with a piece of coral, am I right?
That is what I will not stand for. No more than I will stand for these humans who are like the one who came and tried to destroy me and use my power for nefarious ends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and you killed her I don't know
Exactly.
if your memory's fuzzy or anything about, the past hour or so, but you wrecked her.
I did, yes. And I would do it again.
Hell yeah.
That is what I will not stand for, and in fact...
And you can feel, Finn, that he's, starting to, you can feel the energy around you, which had been relatively calm, kind of, starting to get agitated again, and, the sea currents are becoming more wild. And you can feel he, turns his, attentions, back toward... You truly have no clue where you are, somewhere out in the deep ocean, but he starts to spin around back toward Nephtis, and back around towards near where the aboleth's lair is. And he says,
That, in fact, I think is something that I would like to deal with now. Was there anything else, my son, that you wished to ask of me?
Yeah, well, I have 2 more questions, actually. First, how do I know if what I'm doing is necessary? How do I know if I'm going a little too far? Because, I'm absolutely down to go wash a city in brine, but, just then when we were swimming to Nephtis and your rage was taking me over, and, I really wanted to destroy them too,
Yes.
but, obviously we don't want to destroy them, so how do I tell?
It was intoxicating, but that is where the cult of the Lurker, my followers, exist in part to stop the rage of the seas from overwhelming everything. You have followers? Friends? I don't know the specificity of the relationship.
Kelp keelp.
Okay. You have followers?
They're a little of both.
You have followers as well. Trust them to tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Listen to your dad, Finn.
All right, so listen to my friends, and I guess if Adriana shows up to shoot me with a crossbow again, I'll know I've crossed the line.
Yes.
This very, fond rumbling.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. Oh, and also, do you have any idea of the timeline vis-a-vis the sea swallowing the land and you reigning over all that is? Because I've been telling a lot of people about it, and
Yes.
I mean, I'd like to be able to give them a little more specificity, planning purposes.
Eons or weeks.
Okay.
Kelp cube.
All right, that works. I whispered to Nurgle, we'll punch that up a little in the second pass. Okay, I mean, I guess you have to go, but I mean, I wish we could just hang out a little, talk more, but I mean, that's all my pressing questions answered.
We can hang out. I simply may not wish to speak in words.
Ah, I get it.
But you're always welcome, and you can understand the way that I speak, just as most people cannot understand fish or sharks or the other creatures of the deep.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shark says hello, by the way.
You are my son, after all.
Yeah.
The tentacle that's still kind of coiled around you, affectionately rubs the top of your head.
I hug it back. I squeeze that tentacle.
Now then!
The Lurker, spins around, and you see that you're over the top of, that rock that the aboleth lives in.
Oh, yeah, let's wreck this guy's shit.
And the tentacles just, grab the top of the rock and rip it off. You see the aboleth kind of, is lurking in the back of these chambers. This very, very large primeval fish that just is wait, no. And the
I brought him back, just like you said!
The Lurker just, goes to town. I'll let you all imagine, the ripping with the tentacles, the biting teeth.
Ooh. Oh, that's messy.
You see...
Oh, I didn't know we had organs there. Wow.
This, ripple of anger and, righteous rage going throughout the oceans in this entire area until the aboleth is just a pile of, blood and fish guts floating in the water.
Yeah.
And you see them...
I swim over and, kick some of the floating bloody debris. That's right!
As you're doing that, you see one of the tentacles kind of, reach out very, much slower than they were a few seconds ago when they were, ripping and shredding. And you see those, scum, the, transformed, aberrative, that were formerly merfolk and tritons from...
those pieces of shit.
From Nephtis, who got turned into these, horrible little aberration beasts. And you see the Lurker just, very gently extends a tentacle down to them, and they sort of, grab onto the Lurker's tentacle, and he, sweeps it around and puts them with this school of fish and other creatures that are following him. You hear now, with this sort of act of violence, the Lurker's consciousness has, gone back out to its more natural state.
Oh, actually, this reminds me, I did want to ask, there's a giant jellyfish near here, not a friend of yours, was it?
You do still hear a kind of chuckle, and an image of a dead jellyfish that makes it clear that the Lurker already knows what went down.
Alright, nice.
And you do see more, Finn, images of, the sun sparkling on the ocean, and a coral reef teeming with life, and a school of silverfish all moving as one, and, images of the ocean that you can tell are the way that the Lurker more naturally communicates.
Wow, it's like an IMAX.
As he just, swims, still with you, kind of, back over toward Nephtis, and then basically just, drops you off. You feel the currents, release, and you see the Lurker kind of, pull back from you and just sort of, linger there, this dark shape in the ocean, a little ways away, just sort of looking at you.
I salute.
You salute? The Lurker lets out one deep, bellowing roar that everyone, certainly everyone in Nephtis and everyone in this area of the sea can hear. and swims back in the direction of his lair.
Also, can I keep the trident? If you don't say anything, I'll assume the answer is yes.
There's no response.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I wipe some tears from my eyes, which I've been crying this whole entire time. You can't see it because it's just more salt water added to the salt water we're in, but I wipe my eyes a few times. And as I turn back to my friends, I grab my little bleached bone fish skeleton and tuck it back inside my shirt. And as I swim over to them, I revert back to normal fin form.
Thank God.
In the kind of, like, meantime, while Finn's been gone, the other two of you, Adriana kind of, like, watched Finn and the Lurker swim away together, and sort of, like, whew, like, let out a breath of relief, turned back, like, verified that all of her people were still, like, alive and conscious, which they were.
Wow.
And then, like, one of the guards on these crabs kind of, like, came over on the crab, looked down at Adriana and was like, "What the hell is going on here?" And Adriana was like, okay, allow me to explain. And launched into this, like, the Lurker in the Deep, raising her voice enough that all these guards around here can hear. The Lurker in the Deep was threatened by the armies of Lithios out in the Western Sea, this empire that has been spreading its power over the islands over there. There was an attempt on his life from this empire. And you can hear Malachi and Regin, you guys see this, like, ripple of, like, oh, like, really? A mixture of, like, they can do that, and, like, they would dare to do that? Like, regardless of the Lurker in the Deep and whatever feelings the people of Nephtis may have on him, like, excuse me? They came to our ocean? There's this, like, rippling, like, murmurs of dissent. And Adriana's kind of like, I know. And the Lurker in the Deep was, his fury was awakened. But we have successfully been able to divert him from the city. He will not pose a threat to it. The oceans were simply stirred by these occurrences that should never have been happening in our seas. And you can see, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make a persuasion check for her to see how well the guards buy this.
Can I help?
Do something or say something.
Regin stands behind her and gives 2 thumbs up.
I trust this MILF.
That's not helpful. Wow. Great news, everyone. She crit. So you see, as she's making...
That's my mom.
As she's making this speech, like, the others are all kind of like, the guards are all, like, looking between themselves like, oh, yeah. And she sort of successfully places the blame for this on Lithios, on this Western Empire.
And rightly so.
Yeah, where it belongs.
And manages to convince them that the Lurker is not coming back, which you can see from, like, the stance that the guards were all still in was definitely still a possibility as far as they were concerned. But she manages to sort of calm the attitudes, and then you see her, like, engage in this, quieter discussion with the head guard that you guys are a little too far away to hear. And it's, like, around, I don't know, it probably takes a few more minutes before Finn comes back, but nothing more really happens. Everyone is still just kind of standing around here outside of Nephtis.
Can we go inside?
Hey.
Oh, God.
Guys.
Oh, Finn. You're you.
That's right.
I give Finn a hug.
I'm me. I'm Finn Fisher, son of the Lurker in the Deep. And I am going to remind the people of the surface why they should fear the...
I crush Finn in a hug.
I hug him back.
So did you hatch from an egg or what? Like, how did it work?
Regin, we heard that part.
Were you not listening when Adriana explained it all?
Well, no, but I wanted to hear it from his point of view. Like,
Well...
which tentacle was it?
Oh, so you just weren't listening, is the answer.
Is he...
I also hug him.
Mom, can you explain to Regin where I came from again?
She looks over her shoulder from this discussion with the guards and is like, no.
I look at Finn sort of warily and like, is he...
Magnificent? Yes.
all good now?
Oh, all good? I suppose. I don't know. His alignment's probably a little more neutral, vaguely evil trending, but that's fine.
But we are not.
Oh, we're not in danger. No, we're fine.
He's done.
Oh, not by a long shot.
Oh, God.
Not for eons, I should say. But he's not going to attack us again. He's not going to attack Nephtis, if that's what you're worried about.
Right, but he's not, like, going off to rage elsewhere.
He might. You know, he didn't tell me where he was going. Absolutely brutalize that aboleth. Remember that aboleth that we met like a few days ago? Who sucked?
Oh, he got that guy?
Oh, he got that guy.
Oh, I wanted to get my hands on that thing.
Oh, here. I reach into my pocket and I pull out a chunk of aboleth body that I took with me and hand it to Malachi.
Wow.
Souvenir.
Malachi, like, looks at it with sort of disgust and then, like, tosses it and, like, punches it over to Regin.
I lick it.
Oh.
Oh.
Why?
Well, I sniff it and then I lick it.
No, Regin, you'll get mind controlled.
It tastes so gross. I think
Wow, this tastes like ass.
I squirt Listerine in Reagan's mouth.
I can say with confidence the worst tasting thing you've licked in this campaign.
I use shape water to pump Reagan's stomach.
I'm a man, let me live with my mistakes.
The head guard comes cantering over on this giant crab.
I'm imagining a crab cantering.
Yeah.
Wow, who knew it could move like that?
The guard looks down at the three of you and is like, you are welcome in the city of Nephtis. It's getting late and you're all injured. So you are welcome in the city of Nephtis. Said as if there was a question as to whether this was going to be true.
Yeah, I'm like, we were welcome before.
But he's like very, very graciously nodding to you as if he's extending a gift.
I should think so.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome in the city of Nephtis as well, my friends.
Thank you.
Also, try this. It tastes like ass.
I won't, but thank you for offering. One of the other guards is kind of like looking over curiously.
I slip it to him.
He tastes it and immediately throws up.
Yeah.
Hey, we can teach those kids a lesson.
I guess this is the cycle he was talking about.
The guard like salutes to you guys, and you can see that there is like Adriana has successfully convinced all the guards that you and the other cultists, like, did Nephtis a great service. So they are, like, very, like, thank you for your assistance.
Did they not see?
Well, you know, it was a little difficult to tell what was happening there, but she's given an accurate summation
This train is barreling towards your town, and a bunch of guys show up and just start punching the train.
Yeah, exactly. Seems like probably they're helping.
Are they doing this for fun, or are they trying to help us?
One of them briefly started cheering for the train.
Yeah, the crab guards all, like, head back to the city.
All right, come along, followers. Guys, I mean...
What?
Nothing.
Cool. And you guys are led, along with kind of all the rest of the cult members, into Nephtis. You can see that the city is, when you get inside and, like, behind the shields, the city is very clearly agitated. Like, everybody was sheltering in their homes and, like, putting up every defensive mechanism that they could as this, train was barreling directly toward them. But the news has sort of, like, reached, the all clear has been given, and so everything is sort of in the process of reverting back to normal. Everybody else is going to head for the Lurker temple. That's kind of where Adriana is leading her.
That's where the after party is.
People. Do you guys want to follow, or do you go elsewhere?
I want to follow.
Malachi doesn't want to enter the Temple of the Lurker again, but he'll follow Finn.
Cool.
Hey, Mela, when's that puppet show? Do we have time for the after party?
There isn't one tonight.
Oh, okay.
But we could go to tomorrow. Well, I don't know how quick you guys need to get out of here. We can talk about it.
Okay, great.
And you guys head over to the Lurker temple. Ta, the priest there, is like waiting for you, and like seems to be of mixed feelings about what just occurred. It's clear that he was like a little bit excited about it, and is like, I saw his majesty from a distance, but like kind of waits until you're all in the temple to really like get excited about it, because clearly it was not good for the rest of Nephtis.
I pat him on the back. I know, buddy, I know.
Yeah, and it is just kind of like everyone is shell-shocked and injured and still kind of figuring out what happened there, but is just sort of generally hanging out. Adriana is like, because she was on like 3 hit points or whatever, is like bandaging her wounds and sort of recovering. I think Mela actually probably like darts off to go tell her family that she's okay, because she does have family in this city.
Good for her.
Todd goes to send a message back to the rest of the cult on the island, because they have ways to send messages back and forth, just to be like, stopped the lurker, all good, he's fine, we're all alive. Those sorts of messages. And you guys are sort of free to do what you want.
Finn walks in there, head held high. You guys, Finn always had fine posture before, but now you guys are struck by he is standing tall. He is up straighter than you've ever seen him.
He's 6'3".
Because Finn is feeling good. Finn is feeling still sort of confused, mulling over a lot of what the lurkers said, but also triumphant. Like, he saved a city. He finally got to talk to his dad.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a good mood.
Hell yeah, brother.
An introspective good mood, but a good mood.
Wow.
I look for Ta. I'm like, I have some tablets I was thinking we could, like, put up somewhere. Is there like, a good spot for that?
Certainly. He takes them and looks at them. They're just covered in, like, scratch marks from Miracle. There's no words. It's just all scratch marks. But Ta is, like, clearly has this respect for you that's only grown, and you can tell, Finn, like, the rest of the cultists are all also sort of looking at you with awe. Ta just, like, nods sagely and is like, yes, of course, we will put these in a place of high honor.
Yeah, let me know if you need me to interpret or anything. I've got it all in here. And I tap my head.
Certainly. Yeah, he takes them and goes and puts them on a shelf of honor somewhere that you can't really see because it's so dark in here, but they're up there.
Classic shelf of honor moment.
Hey, I got dark vision.
It's true, you can see them.
Malachi's got his axe glowing as brightly as possible.
Yeah, it's making a little bubble of light around you. You still can't read the tablets.
That's fine. I don't think I want to know what those say.
Oh, nice! Malachi brought the disco ball!
Cool.
We should put some wipes by them, so if anyone's eyes bleed when they look too long at them.
What time of day is it? Like, early evening before the gates would have normally closed, or what?
Yeah, it's kind of like they shut the gates real quick when the lurker was coming, but it is, like, definitely evening time.
Is, dinner, maybe?
Oh, yeah. There's food for sure.
Hors d'oeuvres!
Yeah. Everyone's kind of, like, pulling out, and you used to, like...
what's good around here?
Malachi, do you want some Keelp crackers?
Some what?
Keelp crackers?
No, thank you.
As the panic around the city settles down, there's a lot more interest, and, like, frankly, I guess, like, the doors of the Lurker Temple end up being, like, open, and there are people kind of coming and going. When Mela gets back...
You could say we're heroes.
You could. When Mela gets back, she's like, this is the most activity we have had around here, like, the whole time I've been an Acolyte.
I'm good for recruitment.
Oh, God.
There are lots of people who want to, like, shake your hands and be like... Because the battle was such that, like... It was visible for those who were, like, brave enough to be out by the windows instead of cowering in their homes. It was possible to see what was going on, and everything was very... There was some clear... Malachi, you get a lot of questions about, like, oh, did you end up in his stomach? Like, what happened? What was it like?
It was pretty dark. Mostly is what I experienced. And he's, like, flicks a piece of, like, throat mucus off of his armor.
Yum, yum, yum.
The people you're talking to look vaguely nauseated, and, like, that was not as exciting as what they were hoping for.
Listen, I was in the gullet. Don't give me that look. Finn, can you, like, shape water or something and get this off?
Sure!
You can keep it, I don't care.
I do. Honestly, yeah, I do shape water to, like, blast Malachi and get it all off. But I take those little bits of, like, lurker residue.
Gross.
And I find some empty bottles around the temple and bottle them, because that's going to be a valuable relic.
This is my dad's spit. I'm selling it for 500 gold.
I'm not selling this.
This is my dad's bathwater.
That's the whole ocean, if you think about it.
Yeah. This is my dad's and Malachi's bathwater, 2 for 1.
This is a holy relic. I hand it to Melody. Do you guys have, like, a vault or something?
She holds it out from her and is like, yeah, probably.
Malachi turns green in a not gem way.
Finn is also shaking like 4 hands at once because he has his 2 hands plus his mage hand, and also he's turned on his tentacle tattoo so he can shake hands on the other side of the room.
Yeah, people are
He's a networking machine.
people are very interested. There's definitely some that have come by like, what the hell, like, is that going to happen again? But generally the story that the guards spread when they came back was like, that damn empire tried to come for us and ended up awaking the great beast that lives near us.
That's good PR.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best PR that the Lurker could have asked for from this situation.
Yeah.
Because he did almost destroy the city, but it's still just the great beast who lives near us, which is kind of what he was before, and now everyone knows he's real, and powerful, and there. So...
The protector of the seas!
Malachi leans into Regin and whispers, did we accidentally become missionaries?
Oh, shit.
From across the room, Finn locks eyes and winks at Malachi.
No. It's not missionary if he's real. Or if you're on all fours.
Regin's been swimming around horizontally like he's doing the breaststroke this whole time.
Regin's been crawling around like a dog, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a breaststroke.
Oh my god.
I was inside him.
Finn does a reverse wink and scowls at Malachi and turns away.
I guess you could say I'm the only one who's ever been inside Finn's dad. And lived to tell the tale. Right?
New goal.
No, it was horrible.
Nurgle, I think I might need better followers.
Need what?
Nothing!
Cool. Yeah, so you guys have a weird night, but a good night, and you do get food.
Finn gathers a crowd around him, and he's going on like, and the whale dies and falls to the bottom of the seafloor. It's all about the cycle, you know?
Oh, yeah. Adriana looks proud, by the way. She is like, keeps kind of like looking over at Finn and like smiling at him and sort of seems very relieved by the way that this has all turned out and very like generally kind of proud of Finn. The plan is, as you guys learned, that the cult is going to stay here tonight and then tomorrow we'll like go swim back to their island and sort of check on... Everyone's pretty sure that the Lurker went back in the general direction of his lair, but really he could be anywhere in the oceans, and that's sort of normal as long as he's not rampaging.
We gotta get a tracker on this guy.
He's the seas, we
Don't
really can't.
You dare.
Yeah. So that's their plan.
How are you guys feeling?
Pretty good. I mean, I'll feel even better after a long rest.
I mean, God willing, we don't have to fight any other eldritch beings tonight, but,
Yeah, I mean, fucking What's-a-Nuts is dead, right?
yeah.
Rosalia? Oh, yeah, she got eaten.
Like, dead as fuck. That's great.
Yeah, so I mean, that's one down.
And, like, Finn's dad is real.
Finn puts his hand out and does a check in the water.
Us 3, 4, Lithios... Well, hard to quantify, actually. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I would count this all as a victory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Finn's mom is hot.
Well, that's...
Well,
I don't think we need to go over that.
all right.
I'm just racking up the victories.
I don't have much left, but using my remaining 15 lay on hands, I will divvy it up between the 3 of us so we each get 5.
Okay.
Nice.
Just so everyone feels a little better. Yeah, you guys kind of pass the evening in this weird sort of half post-battle crash and half like celebratory victory party in the Temple of the Lurker and in the square kind of just outside the temple.
Can Malachi get, like, the strongest liquor Nephtis has?
Yeah. Some of the crab guards who, like, saw the whole fight end up coming by and recognize that all of you, like, the ones who saw it up close how harrowing it was, as opposed to the people who saw it from a distance and were like, whoa, crazy! The guards are a little bit more like, that was terrifying, and bring the good liquor with them.
Nice.
Malachi, you gotta try these water chestnuts.
What? Malachi's operating on, like... less than 10% right now, so he's out. He's gone.
Auntie, did you just name a food that has water in the name?
Well, no, I was going to, and then first I looked it up to see, and they actually do grow underwater, so eat me.
I thought they were freshwater. You got me there.
Oh, they might be freshwater. I didn't go that in depth on my research.
Yeah, they grow in marshes.
They might have hydroponics under the sea.
Yeah, there's an undersea marsh somewhere in Nephtis.
Yeah, they've got greenhouses, but it's like for water chestnuts.
You guys want to try some of these damp potato chips?
Yeah.
You know, you guys, I don't say it very much, but you guys are my best friends.
Oh, and you're my closest advisor, too.
What?
Finn hugs Malachi and pulls Regin in with his mage hand.
Oh, I give him a big snuggle.
Awesome.
Malachi, like, squeezes their heads in so close and, like, holds on for a little too long.
Malachi, you're wearing full plate.
This is really nice. We don't get to do this very often, do we? Malachi smooches them both on the top of the head.
Wow. I look over to one of the guards. That's good stuff, huh?
I want this. Give this to me.
We stopped a god. What can't we do?
You know what? Yeah, we're getting crazy tonight. Finn pulls out a lemon, slices it in half, and just sticks it into his mouth and sucks in the juice. Woo!
Bartender?
Cool. Eventually, Ta kind of, like, shoos everybody out, and is like, okay, these people need to sleep, and makes all the passersby go back to their own homes, and everyone can sort of crash in the Temple of the Lurker in those floating sleep pod things.
Yeah. Love the vibes here.
Is there anywhere here with a real bed?
There's also, some of the like Tritons are happy to if you want a real bed. There's that like inn for tourists that has actual beds in it that you're welcome to.
Where are you guys gonna sleep?
Here.
I also want to sleep in the floaty thing. It's good for me back.
It is. It's awesome for your back.
Yeah, come on. If you go to that inn with the real beds, they have to like strap you down to make sure you don't float away during the night.
I guess my back.
Well, maybe I want to go there then. Sorry, I'm like really horny today, guys. I don't know what's going on.
I've met you, yes.
I don't want to sleep alone.
There's a random acolyte walking by and I cover his ears.
You all eventually doze off in the bubbles around the Temple of the Lurker. Yeah.
A little tiny, like, string of drool floats up out of Malachi's mouth as he's sleeping. He's fucking conked.
Okay, cool. So, you wake up in the morning, still floating in your pods in the Lurker Temple. There is a breakfast spread out in kind of the main room, like some seafood items and also some like water-based plants.
Finn stares at the seafood items for a long time silently and then mutters, "Cycle. Okay, the cycle. Cycle. Yeah, cycle.
Do you have any carbohydrates?
Probably. I don't know what kind of undersea food. It's easy to come up with, like, plants and seafood. I don't know what they'd eat that is a carbohydrate.
There's kelp crackers.
Yeah, kelp crackers. Probably some sort of grain. There's something. Definitely no muffins, though. But you see that the other, like, cult members, with the exception of Mela and Ta, who live here, but everyone who kind of, like, lives back on the island is, like, taking their time with breakfast, but then starting to pack up and get ready to go. Adriana looks pretty anxious to, like, get back and make sure that everything's okay.
Oh, I do want to have a little chat before they all leave.
And she wants to, Adriana wants to catch you also. So as everyone's sort of, like, eating breakfast and, you know, doing their morning routines and having conversations, Adriana sort of, like, pulls you aside, Finn, and she's like, do you and your friends want to come back to the island with us?
I mean, I really want to, but I'm not sure. We still have a lot of unfinished business. You know, this was like a little mini climax, but our story's not over.
She nods, seeming a little bit disappointed, but not surprised.
But I'll come to visit sometime. Once we've sorted everything out, once we're no longer fugitives,
Good.
I'll come to visit.
Yes.
Or I guess who cares? I'm a fugitive. It's the middle of the Heir and Sea.
It's true. This is where a lot of fugitives end up, actually, so...
Once we can take some time off, I'll come by.
Good. And if there's anything that we can help with, do just let us know.
Of course.
We, of course, have our duty to the Lurker, but I want to make sure that we can help you. And I'm worried that if this empire continues to want to plunder the magical resources of the ocean, we're going to have to deal with them again ourselves. So will Nephtis, whether or not they've realized it yet, but...
Yeah, is there a good way to get in contact with you?
How
do you feel about your dreams being invaded?
What if she has sex dreams, Finn?
Wrinkles her brow, and she's like, yeah, that would be fine. Also, you can just, generally, if you tell a fish something and ask it to come to me, probably I will get that message. I don't know if...
nice. Oh, perfect.
It would be harder for me to respond because the fish don't listen to me as well, but I could try. And it would get to me, so...
Alright, I'll try that.
Yeah.
I'll use the fish network. Listen, it's great to meet you.
Yes.
Yes. It's super cool to know who you are and your deal and,
yeah.
Hang out, It hasn't all been sunshine and roses. I rubbed the wound where she shot me with a crossbow. But hey.
Hey, you deserved it.
It's water under the bridge that's also underwater.
What are you crossing?
She smiles, and she's like, I always knew that you were alive somewhere out there. I trusted your father and the ocean enough that I was sure you were alive, but I didn't think, for whatever reason, it didn't cross my mind that I'd be lucky enough to actually get to meet you, so I'm very glad that I did.
Yeah, I was always sure too. Pretty obviously, no way I could be dead if I was up and walking around, right?
Yeah, usually not. There are, but usually not.
That's true. But, I never really thought I'd meet you either, so
yeah.
This is neat. You should come to Gillsbury sometime.
Yeah.
Meet my parents there.
Yeah, I would love that, actually.
It's not like a great place to visit at the moment, but
they're a bit tired.
Like I said, once all this is sorted out,
Right.
once we got some time to figure things out.
Yes, I would really love to meet the people who raised you.
Aww.
I'd like to meet them.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to meet you too. They might have some questions about your sort of tossing me into the ocean, but it's fine. I'll smooth that over.
Abandonment, yes.
Hey, they benefited.
She grimaces. Yeah, there's a very, vivid image in your mind, Finn, of your very angry parents completely chewing her out. And Adriana is clearly imagining the same thing because she winces. But she goes, to be fair, like I said, not really the pinnacle of motherhood, so I've come to terms with that. She sort of, awkwardly, does that sort of aborted moment as if she's going to give you a hug, but isn't quite sure about it.
Oh, I go for the hug.
Cool. You go for the hug, and she hugs you tightly, and is like, sorry about shooting you. Also.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
And listen, hey, if you ever feel like you need to do it again, don't shy away. I got some advice, and just putting that out there.
I'll keep that in mind.
Maybe, think about it first.
Right.
Don't, instantly jump to that if I, take the last cookie, but... You guys have cookies down here?
We do on the island. I don't know if Nephtis does, but...
Damn shame.
Yeah. There's some benefits to living both above and below the waves.
Yeah, apparently. Not as much of a stark divide as I thought. Which reminds me, where's Hargoff? Hargoff!
He,
You here?
looks up from where he was over on the other side of the room and kind of shuffles over. He's been very subdued.
I do a little beckoning gesture with my hand while staring at him.
Yeah, he's been very subdued since yesterday, and clearly, everybody else is keeping an eye on him. And he was, during the, whole party situation, he was very much talking about the grace and the might of the Lurker, but it was somewhat fitting in that circumstance. Now he kind of shuffles warily over to you and is like, yes?
Yeah, so, listen. Here's the deal. I talked to the big guy. I got it all sorted out.
Wow.
No human sacrifice.
Oh.
Unless it is necessary.
Ah.
All right?
What does that mean?
You know, like if it's necessary for the cycle and for, you know, if it's necessary. If it has to be done, it has to be done. But only if it has to be done.
He nods very slowly and thoughtfully, and you see he kind of like shoots Adriana a glance out of the corner of his eye, and she shoots him the same glance right back. So they're sort of glaring at each other, and he goes, all right, so probably not necessary right now.
No, I don't think so. For instance, he actually specifically was very insulted by your implication that the Lurker needs to be strengthened.
Oh no,
by sacrifice.
Of course that's not what I was trying to imply.
I don't know, that sure is how it came across, Argoth.
Well, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, well, next time, maybe do.
He shakes his head and nods.
All right, well, good luck with your whole thing.
Thank you.
Maybe not the whole thing.
And he shuffles away again.
I lean into Adriana and say, you know, I think that kid's gonna be all right.
I don't know if I agree, but it would be nice.
Hey, his heart's in the right place, you know?
It's true.
Is it?
Yeah, you know, he has dark, destructive urges. We just gotta make sure he channels them right.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume Hargoth is, like, decades older than Finn.
Yes, absolutely. This is like a 60-year-old man. Cool. The cult of the Lurker kind of gets their packed lunches and departs to just kind of swim over to the lair because that's the mode of transport they've got. I think probably somebody is taking one of the ships to like pick them up along the way and bring them back to the island. Because you portaled here and only like 6 people came with you, and so it was a distinct like, okay, well here we are now. But they're swimming back.
At least we can get boxed lunches.
Yeah.
Ooh, everyone who stayed behind is going to be so jealous.
Goodbye.
And once they depart, you guys are sort of left in Nephtis with, for the first time in a little while, like no immediate pressing concerns. So like, to take stock of the to-do list, the High Priestess is dead. You kind of have no idea where the adventurer went at this point. Like, we saw
Ben here.
Yeah, once Ben teleported away, you don't know if they're still around or if they have left the area or if what is kind of going on there.
Or why they were in the area to begin with.
Right. Dr. Redfall, also no idea where he is. And then, of course, the Empire continues to, presumably, unless something has changed dramatically since you guys have been here, you've sort of been off the grid for, like, a little over a week at this point, between the, like, sailing through the Lightless Sea and to the Keeper, and then your sort of, like, brief skip through Still Sky and Gillsbury, and then through the Aberrant Sea. In total, I haven't actually counted the days, which I probably should have considered that were recorded, but I believe it's been, like, 7 or 8 days.
Damn.
So, that's the sort of situation. But you don't have an immediate threat that you have to deal with like you have for the past 7 or 8 days.
Yeah. Well, now that we can transport anywhere, it's not a big deal.
Oh my god, right! So, yeah, guys, who should we murder next?
Man, I should have probably talked to your mom before she left.
Yeah, it's pretty rude of you, Malachi. You know, I wasn't going to say anything, but,
I would have but I wasn't going to take her away from you. Listen.
I mean, we had the whole night, Malachi. I mean, everyone was noticing that you never went over. All right.
Can we go back to the question about murder?
Oh, yeah. I figure we're on a roll so far.
I just want to get to know your parents. You guys got to talk to my moms. I mean, your mom's cooler, probably, but...
Oh, yeah. We had a whole lot of quality time together. We had a whole sea trip.
Oh, yeah. You sure did go on a trip with my mom.
Oh, yeah. I've hung out with them more than you have, I would say, in the past 5 years.
Yeah, you absolutely did.
And we bonded.
Wow, great. That's good to hear.
Finn pulls up his shirt to reveal a fading temporary tattoo that says Finn, Shala, and Mar BFFs.
Yeah, they probably scrubbed theirs off as soon as they left.
Oh, I do not like this side of you, Malachi.
Anyways, whatever, I guess.
Cool. So you guys have, basically, you have the day to kind of do whatever that you need to do in Nephtis. Any sort of, like, plans that you wanted to hash out, or anything that you, like, haven't had time for that you're like, oh, shit, now I actually have time for. The weight of time pressure has been lifted.
Yeah.
Mella's still around, also. She's kind of, like, waves the rest of the group off, and then sort of, like, turns back to you guys and is like, so are you sticking around in town for a while, or are you, like, heading out immediately, or...
For the day, at least.
We can stay the day.
She brightens, and grins and is like, cool! Ta says that, helping to, keep the Lurker from destroying Nephtis and everything, is enough that I can have the day off from normal acolyte stuff, like lighting candles and watching them get snuffed out by the ocean. So, if you want to hang out...
Important work, yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. What time's that puppet show?
Malachi, like, elbows Regin and, like, looks at him like, should we leave him to it, or, like, do we go too?
Malachi, he's embarrassed to admit this, but Malachi actually gets really uncomfortable around puppets. They really freak him out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's why you were so scared of Lizzie's dolls.
Right. It's like you should see him around a mascot. But point being, we'll leave you guys to it. I
had to do that at bench school one time.
He and I will go do something.
Not real bench school, military bench school. I didn't go to real bench school.
So, yeah, we'll catch up with you. We'll get like drinks, dinner, something like that.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Have fun at your little Hellion show.
We turn away and I'm like, wow, I never even knew that about him.
Yeah, crazy.
As soon as Finn and Mela turn away, Malachi leans down to Regin and hisses, how did you know that? I never told you that.
What can I say? I guess I'm just very perceptive. Like, for perceptive.
Well.
Or for insightful.
You got me beat.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so, Finn and Mela kind of like, frankly, everybody probably slept in. You all had an exhausting day, so breakfast was really more like brunch, and then by the time that everyone gets set off, Nephtis continues to be a bustling city. The marketplace has people in it. There's sort of, the energy is still very, like, agitated in the way that it is in a city when something big happens.
Yeah.
But, nothing, like, actually bad happened, and so people are pretty, like, excited, and it's just, like, there's a fun topic of conversation that everyone wants to talk about. And both of you, or both groups of you, as you're walking around, do, like, periodically get stopped by someone who's like, oh, you're the ones who helped defeat the Lurker, and, like, oh, let us talk to you, and stuff like that.
That's right. Although, I mean, let's be clear, the Lurker was not the main villain of the day.
Oh, yes, right, of course, who helped stop the Lurker after the wicked human empire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go, champ.
Yeah, and you have a lovely day in the city of Nephtis.
Malachi, look how pretty my hair looks. Look how pretty all my hair looks, loose and flowing under the water.
Wow, that is pretty nice. I wonder if Malachi shakes out his hair. Malachi is reluctantly charmed, despite being underwater, by this city.
Yeah.
Man, sometimes things underwater can be beautiful, I guess. Usually things that are wet are worse, but I'm having a good time here today. Although, Hannah, I want to go to where we saw Ben leaving yesterday. Not where we took him to, but where he had been.
Oh.
God, was that yesterday? When was that?
It was 2 days ago in game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you found him in the marketplace, like, on his way clearly to or from somewhere that you sort of interrupted. Go ahead and make me a investigation check, and you can have, assuming that Regin's helping you with this, you can have advantage.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm in beast mode. I'm on the hunt.
11?
11? Okay. I will say that if you guys are willing to, like, spend a good chunk of your day on this, you don't find any, like, easy answers.
Yeah.
But you do, over the course of, like, asking around and, like, retracing your steps and remembering, like, where he was coming from when you interrupted him. And also just sort of, like, thinking back to, like, the things he said and, like, if he looked like he'd actually finished the errand that he came here for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You are able to trace that he'd been around the, like, basically, like, curiosity shops in the marketplace. Yeah, shops that have just, like, a bunch of random things. Like I said, Nephtis, being this, like, undersea hub, ends up with a lot of, like, treasure and weird things from the Aberrant Sea will, like, get brought here to just sort of, like, be curiosities or be there for anybody else who comes by to find them. And in one of these shops, finally, you manage to talk to someone who's like, oh, yeah, that guy. I remember that guy. He was in here a couple days ago.
He was airy. Yeah.
Yeah, stranger. We don't get we tend to notice when strangers come through Nephtis. He let's see, he looked at a whole bunch of things in my shop and acted like he was going to be interested in them, but he wasn't really interested in most of them. But he did, there was this artifact that was like a weird, this special type of pearl that is like only formed in the stomachs of a particular type of clam that only lives down here, like an aberrant
Clam.
Yeah.
Not
a clam specifically,
Okay.
not an oyster. Yeah, which is part of what makes it so weird.
I was more worried about like humanoid, but clam. No.
Oh no, it is a clam. Yeah, no, like a giant clam that produces this giant pearl, and it's pretty valuable. He paid a lot of gold for it, which is part of why I remember.
Is it just pretty, or does it do something?
Well, it's one of those, like, it doesn't do anything on its own, but there are, like, wizards and the type who will use it. It can be used in...
as a component.
Like, very specific. Yeah. I'm not a magic practitioner myself, I'm just a salesman, but... And then he was talking to, some of the other, who was it? He's kind of, like, snapping his fingers to sort of, like, I can, he gets that gleam in his eyes if he's realized that there might be something valuable for him in this conversation. He's like, he was talking to somebody, it's, like, information's, like, right on the tip of my brain. I just don't know if I can remember.
Goes like he's gonna pull out his axe.
I flex. Maybe we can shake it loose.
Make an intimidation check. Malachi with advantage, I think.
Wow, I rolled shit, but I still got a 21.
Okay. He looks at Malachi and his eyebrows go up, and then he, like, looks at Regin and his eyes go up even more, and he's like, oh, okay.
Hey, we fought the Lurker yesterday.
Oh, yes, I heard about that. Yes, very, he sort of, like, he points over to a tentacle that, like, very clearly has been here for ages and is not from the Lurker. You can tell just by looking at it, but he's like, yeah, I have a trophy from that I'm gonna sell to someone, and kind of, like, winks at you guys like, don't fuck me over here.
I don't know, man. I mean, I would recognize the tentacles that were grabbing me and
right
thrashing us about.
But I've been very useful in this conversation about this strange air person. Anyway, he was talking to, there's a, like, group of, some people who live in Nephtis who will go out and, like, hunt the beasts of the Aberrant Sea, the aboleths and the morkoths and the other, scary creatures, and will sometimes know things that they've seen out in the ocean, or, will have trophies or items with them at times. I saw your air guy talking to one of these hunters, somebody who's pretty well known, and was, it looked like perhaps some money was exchanging hands, but I didn't see anything that this monster hunter was handing to him, so it wasn't a simple purchase. It was I don't know if there was information or if he was contracting for a job or hiring, but in any case, that monster hunter, One-Eyed Pete and his crew haven't been around Nephtis since then. I haven't seen them. They frequent my store quite a bit, and they seem to have left town. So whatever they were contracted to do, they went and did it.
All right.
Or they got paid to leave, I suppose, although I don't know why that would be.
Malachi goes back like he's reaching for his axe again.
That's all I know!
And picks a little green crystal off his back and hands it to the guy.
Oh, thank you. Are you some sort of, like... does this do anything?
I don't know, man. I was in the Lurker's throat.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He takes it and starts kind of like polishing it, and yeah, you guys, that's the kind of best lead you can get on an 11, and quite a bit of time spent on what Ben was doing here.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, if you see them back around, will you let one of the temple workers know?
He looks at the gem in his hands and is like, yeah, okay.
All right. Fair enough. Good luck with your lurker tentacle. Malachi does like a really slow, judgmental wink.
Thank you, renowned hero who frequents my shop. He calls out to anyone
I've
nearby.
never been here before.
Frequents! Cool, and you guys can continue to spend the rest of your afternoon on, less work pursuits.
Regin, do you want to go shopping?
I was going to say that we should put up hateful posters with, like, portraits of Ben and the adventurer and maybe, like, Caleb or something, being like, these are servants of the evil Western Empire that, like, tried to fuck up your city and sicked the lurker and all that stuff.
Well, unfortunately, that is a blatant lie.
Is it?
Servants of the Empire? They're pretty staunchly anti that.
Except for Caleb.
Well, yeah, that guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, but we don't need to, like, we're allowed to lie.
No, I know, but I mean, if they'd talked to people here before us, who are they gonna believe?
The guys who took out the lurker and saved the city. I'd like to find an underwater Kinko's and...
What?
Print
What is
hateful...
that?
Kinko's?
What is
The copy shop.
Kinko's the coffee shop?
Oh,
Never heard of it.
no, me neither.
Wow.
Okay.
So, yeah, sure, you can make a bunch of, vaguely convincing. Give me you don't have painter's tools proficiency, unless you do.
I have navigator's tools, so I can navigate
that's not
around the
helpful
internet to find good pictures.
Not even close.
That's not helpful here. Just make me a dexterity check.
Okay.
I can't help you here.
6?
6, great. You make the posters. They're not very,
They make Ben look absolutely beautiful and don't give any other information.
yeah, and you don't set out to do that, but somehow when you get to the end of the drawing, you're like, fuck!
He looks so
Why
good!
does he look so good?
Wait, shit, fuck.
Regin, is this how you see Ben?
What, like, you don't? What do you... What?
Well, not anymore. Malachi blushes and looks down.
Okay, awesome.
But yeah, I want to put something, like, to the effect of, like, do not trust, do not do commerce with.
Do not trust this gorgeous, gorgeous man.
Have you seen this? Have you dreamed this man?
You can also, like, just from you guys asking around and stuff, like, and being in the marketplace, like, you can just drop that into conversations, like, hey, don't trust these guys if they happen to come by, and that you can spread fairly successfully.
As the heroes of
Yeah.
yesterday, these guys are horrid.
Cool.
And they also want to take over everything, just separately from the Empire.
Nobody grasps the nuances of the situation. These guys are, like, just, like, the encroaching empire was, like, a distant curiosity that they weren't worried about until yesterday, so they're definitely not, that in on the nuances, but you do manage to spread, like, Ben bad throughout Nephtis pretty solidly.
This other guy named Ben comes out of Kinko's after us. And it's just instantly, like, treated like dirt by everyone he comes across.
Cool. Anything else, Regin and Malachi? You pass your day.
I think Regin and I go to a masseuse.
Great.
I'll get rubbed down.
Yeah, it's awesome. They don't know what to do with Malachi. They're like, is this tension, or how much of this is normal that you're made of?
It's all tension. All of it.
Sir, it would really help if you took the armor off, please.
Honestly, Malachi will take his armor off for Regin and his massages.
And what, take a water breathing potion? Do you have one? I have one.
I forgot that's how he survived.
He'll keep one gauntlet on.
Yeah, there you go. I'll allow that for the purposes of a massage.
Or he could just, like, keep on a helmet.
Yeah, and Regin also is, like, increasingly covered in dragon scales, but you get your massage. It feels great. Some much needed R&R.
We also get hot stones.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Is this what it feels like when I have a fever?
Meanwhile, Finn, you and Mela, she's just, like, very happy to show you everything in Nephtis, and she, like, had showed you guys the marketplace yesterday, but now she's kind of like, these are, like, where the cool kids hang out, and, like, this is where I went to school, and, like, the more, like, you know, hometown stuff when you're walking around with someone who's never been to your hometown before. And she also, like, shows you the, like, cool undersea, like, she does take you to that, like, pool where people can breathe air that exists, and the, like, there's, like, a beautiful, like, underwater botanical garden almost with all of this, like, seaweed and these beautiful underwater flowers and stuff in all of these. Lots of foliage that you've definitely never seen before, except maybe, like, in the reef near Gilsbury when you guys fought Cathoth. You see some of those same plants around here, and you're like, oh.
Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, isn't it? I know, it's funny, I've spent most of my life, like, wanting to get out of Nephtis and go see, like, literally anywhere else in the world, but getting to show it to someone who's never been here really kind of makes you appreciate, like, not to mention, you know, the minutes yesterday where I thought that maybe all of it was going to get destroyed. That'll really make you appreciate a place more.
Finn thinks about showing Malachi and Regin around Gilsbury. And it's like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Eventually, you make your way to the puppet show as it gets to be evening.
On our way there, we pass a poster of Ben, and Finn instinctively casts polymorph and turns the picture into a snail. It's like, okay, well, sorry, reflex.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous snail.
Enjoy your hour of existence before you turn back into paper, I guess.
The snail's very slowly crawling up the pole. The puppet show is, like, a startlingly well-attended event. It's this, like, outdoor theater in the kind of, like, amphitheater style, this stage that Mela, like, explains hosts, like, concerts and other sorts of events around Nephtis. It looks vaguely stylized like a giant seashell, as one would expect from any undersea theater.
Nice. Just like on the Esplanade.
Just like that.
It's for our Boston-based listeners.
You see these, these little puppets, which are, like, specially crafted to be able to hold up underwater, come out and put on this show, which starts very funny about, like, a mermaid princess, and her Triton suitor, and there's all these, like, hijinks, and it's kind of like a romantic comedy. There's all these misunderstandings keeping them apart, and, like, a case of mistaken identity where she thinks she mistakes another man for him and thinks that he's cheating on her, and it's all this, like, very, very funny. And then in the second act, it takes, like, a tragic turn as her lover is killed, and it's this like this immediate dramatic, like, all these like sea monsters start coming up and sort of morphs genres as the mermaid goes out for revenge for her suitor and sort of, like, becomes this, like, warrior of the seas. And there's lots of cool effects with, like, colors and lights in the water and, like, sound effects that are being made from somewhere off stage, and also some with magic. There's definitely some magical effects that are happening here as well. The crowd is all very into it. People are, like, gasping and cheering, and Mela, like, at a moment where, like, there's, like, a jump scare with one of the monsters in the second act, she, like, grabs your hand. Nurgle, by the way, is here, still in squid form, in case we were worried, sitting on Finn's other side, also engrossed in the puppet show.
We got Nurgle a seat for himself, yeah.
You did. And he's sitting there.
Is Nurgle still an eldritch clusterfuck, or is he?
Yeah.
Good for him.
He has stayed in this squid form since seeing the Lurker, basically. And is eating fries that either you purchased for him at the concession stand or that he just stole. They're very soggy.
They're better that way.
Yeah. I don't know how Finn feels about the puppet show, but it is objectively a very well-made piece of art.
Oh, Finn loves it.
Yeah.
He applauds with all 4 of his appendages.
Wow.
He applauds with his hands and with his mage hand and tentacle.
No feet.
At one point during the show, Finn, like, reaches his arm all the way over around Mella's shoulder.
Yeah, she sort of, like, does that thing where she, like, leans over a little bit and sort of, like, moves her shoulders so that you can put your arm around her.
And then Finn continues and finishes the arc of his hand, which is reaching into the bag of popcorn that Mela had on her opposite knee, taking a handful and then bringing his hand back to eat.
Bro.
Cold.
She, like, straightens up the rest of the way and, like, real quick kind of, like, awkwardly moves her hair as if that's what she was doing. Cool. The puppet show comes to its close. The audience gives it a standing ovation, of course. The puppeteers come out and take their bows, appearing on stage as themselves for the first time, holding the puppets that they were puppeteering.
Woo!
I feel like actually it's probably one of those things where, like, they were, like, on stage holding the puppets rather than, like, behind something, but they were just invisible. Or, like, the water was somehow altered so that you couldn't see them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now that's production value.
Theater magic.
Yeah. You and she kind of, like, walk back through the streets toward the Temple of the Lurker. And she's like, yeah, so that's the main entertainment of Nephtis. That's the great puppet show. I would really love to see what, humans do for fun sometime.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. If you want to ever come to the surface.
Yeah, maybe.
Be happy to show you around.
When there's less war and everything is fine, but...
True. Yeah, there's some stuff to maybe square away first.
Yeah,
but then, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
I had a great time today. This was awesome. This was great.
Great. She, like... He's kind of, like, looking at you expectantly and kind of, like, plays with a little bit of her hair. You're sort of, like, outside the Temple of the Lurker at this point. She stays with her family. You are presumably sleeping in here.
Everyone around them is giving them looks like, why isn't he kissing her?
Malachi and Regin are inside at the window.
This is getting weird.
Finn is like, yeah, it was great. And then he sort of tilts his head a little to the side and leans forward, getting his face closer to hers.
She does the same thing.
Pursing his lips a little.
Yeah, I think that there's like a moment where you sort of, like, hover a few centimeters apart, and then she just sort of, like, leans forward and kisses you.
Wow.
Oh! You, Finn pulls back with his hand up. You had an eyelash. And you see all of a sudden Finn's tentacle springs up out of the ground behind him and is standing straight vertically.
She sort of, like, leans back and kind of is like, oh, well, okay, in my defense, it definitely looked like you were gonna kiss me, and anyway, I had a really nice time, and I would love to see the, surface of the ocean once you're done saving the world or whatever. Okay, bye. Sort of like... Oh, yeah, no, I had a nice time, too. No, that was,
gee, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Finn turns and sees the tentacle behind him. Oh, my God. Like, pokes at it a couple times, and it doesn't lose its straight upness.
Turgidity.
Oh, wow.
That was the most action he's ever gotten.
Oh my god. Nurgle, Nurgle, what do you know about relationships? Okay, I'll ask someone else. Yeah, no, I mean, who do I know who knows a lot about girls? I mean, there's Regin. Ooh, no, not gonna ask Regin. Malachi? I don't...
Malachi knows about ladies.
Yeah, they're hats.
Huh. Finn walks into the temple and says, Ta, can I talk to you?
Aww.
Ta, like, looms out of the darkness immediately. Yes, son of the Lurker in the Deep?
Yeah, ooh, you know what? I'm actually thinking this might be a work-life issue if I talk to you. Never mind, have a nice day! I'll be back later to sleep here.
Bye! It is, like, evening at this point. I don't know where Malachi and Regin are, but you guys can presumably...
We got a 3-hour massage, so we're done now.
Great. Malachi and Regin are returning to the temple.
Boneless.
You guys can sort of meet up.
Guys, hey, are
you okay?
I just had my first kiss.
Hey!
Malachi's jaw drops.
I give him a big ol' hug.
You what?
Oh, sorry. It's like when your lips and someone else's lips like go up against each other.
I'm familiar with the theory. Oh my god. Mello. It was Mello, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Oh my god. I had no idea she liked me. Wow.
God, you are so stupid.
Wow. Even I saw that.
Hey, I've known like one other girl my entire life, and she's my best friend's girlfriend. I have never flirted.
I feel like we've met several girls.
Okay, well, yeah, but the heat of battle is not the most erotic of arenas.
Speak for yourself.
Jeez. I turn back to Nurgle. We should talk.
He nods.
Oh my god, your first one? Malachi looks frantically at Regin like, are we supposed to do something here?
What?
Congrats. It was fine, right? Good?
Yeah, well, yes.
You both wanted it, and you both had a good time?
Yes, but I think she thinks that I didn't want it.
But did you want it?
What? What did you do?
Well, honestly, it hadn't really occurred to me, but retroactively, yeah.
Well, you said it was nice, right?
She had an eyelash, okay?
Did you let that girl go off to her house without thinking that you reciprocated the feeling, Finn?
She swam away. She has a tail.
Oh,
she's really
my
fast.
God. Malachi drops his head into his hands.
I think she's got like a 45-foot swimming speed.
You should text her.
She has a swimming speed. You could have messaged her in your brain.
Oh.
Although that is maybe a bit invasive if you just kissed and then...
Well, you can always do what I do and just knock politely.
Huh, oh, that actually does sound like good advice. I'm sorry, I was about to discount that, but... Huh. Okay, well...
It's at this point, as you guys are all, like, standing here just outside the temple discussing this, that whichever one of you, so several episodes ago, when you left the remnants of AAA behind at the cove in the Lightless Sea, there was one sending stone that you got given as a, like... This can cast sending once a day. We're only going to use it if there's an emergency.
Yeah.
You guys got given that. Who's holding on to it? I'm assuming Malachi, but I don't know if somebody else has it written down.
I am also assuming Malachi.
Okay. So, Malachi, you feel the sending stone, like, vibrate. And kind of, like, get warm. And you would know that how this works is that you then can, like, press on it and it will play the sending, and then you can respond in kind.
For a split second, when that vibrates right after Finn relays this story, Malachi is like, holy shit, did we just hit a checkpoint?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, hold that thought. Malachi pulls out the sending stone and checks to make sure that there's no one else around the three of us.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet in the street right now.
Can they hear it, too, if I play it?
Yes, it'll play it out loud, like, pretty quietly.
Nice. So I'll huddle them in and play the sending.
Cool. You hear Nell's voice go, hey, can Finn do his dream walking spell tonight? No emergency, everyone's fine, but there's news, we should talk.
Have we had a sending stone this whole time?
I don't know how to use it.
Oh no, do you think we're in trouble?
And so any of us can respond, but
Yeah.
just the total 25 words? Okay.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I guess this is a way to do, like, a multi-person sending. But a total of 25 words.
We each trade off saying one word at a time.
Yeah, we go in a round. I look at Finn like, yeah, you can do that.
Oh yeah.
What if we just sent back, yeah,
We send back a thumbs up emoji.
red 10:28 p.m.
Malachi, Finn, and Regin liked this message. I think we do send that.
Okay, cool. You send back Malachi, Finn, and Regin liked this message. The magical equivalent of a thumbs up emoji. Cool. Yeah, the sending stone is expended, so there's no response back. But you set up the plan. Yeah. So let me know if you want to do anything else with this evening, or if you are just going to go to sleep / cast dream.
Should I ritual cast ceremony for Finn now that he's come of age?
Nah, wait until he fucks.
Well,
Hey, that does not necessarily endow adulthood.
Well, a first kiss does.
and also it won't be happening until after marriage. So that would be the first ceremony.
A first kiss, Ken, if that's meaningful to Finn.
Maybe let's just move on from this.
You don't have to make the decision now, Finn. It's okay. It's actually more useful if I cast this spell right before we do something important.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So you guys are going to sleep? Yes?
Go to her. Malachi pats him on the shoulder.
Okay.
If you want, Only if you want.
I don't think I know where she lives. Is part of the problem here.
That's probably for the best.
I mean, the temple probably, could tell you.
Well, that seems like an HR violation.
That seems, like a...
I'm sorry, are you employed by this organization?
Well, no.
There you go.
But I would be putting someone in an awkward position if I asked to see the records.
If you walk into the CVS, Regin, you can't just ask where the cashier lives.
Yeah, but what if the CVS is dedicated to me?
Yeah, remember last time you tried that, you got kicked out.
Look, he owed me money, okay?
All right, I guess I'll talk to her in the morning.
That's fine. I think we've had enough excitement.
Actually, as we go into the temple, I want to reach out with my telepathy, see if I can find any schools of fish in the vicinity.
Yeah, sure, there could be one.
Nice. I instruct them, I project an image of Mela into their heads, and I say, if you see this mermaid, form yourselves into, like, a smiley face in front of her, just until she sees it. All right?
So much more normal.
It's very Finn.
You hear echoing back in your head from all the fish, oh, okay. All at once, though, doubled over each other. Oh, okay.
We love smiling at mermaids.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, carry on.
Cool. You guys head back into the temple, back into your sleep pods.
I can't wait till we get out of here.
I can't believe we have to leave here.
And can go to sleep.
All right, well, before I go to sleep, I'm going to cast Dream.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Dream on Nell.
Okay. And how does this... Do you get to pick what the dream environment looks like?
Yeah, I have full, magic inception control over shaping the dream.
Okay. So what environment do you create to kind of pull them into?
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. It's a undersea temple, but because it's a dream, Nell can breathe underwater here. And Nell Nell comes to awareness in the dream, finding themselves standing at the bottom of a large stone staircase, at the top of which is a huge throne carved of black stone, upon which sits Finn.
They sort of, look around, taking in the environment, and then sort of, look up at you and wave and call up.
Hey,
I don't know what I expected. Can you, float me up there so I don't have to climb all these stairs?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
A pillar of stone erupts from beneath their feet and lifts them up to be at eye level with Finn.
I should have just...
Welcome to the dreamscape.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cotton candy? In the dream, it doesn't dissolve in water.
Wow. Sure. Might as well.
I hand them some cotton candy.
They take the cotton candy and take a bite, and are like, why does this taste salty? Okay.
Aw.
Thank you for meeting me here. Are you guys all okay? Are you good? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so we have had quite the time. We fought the Dreamer. Remember we told you about her?
Oh, yeah.
Killed her, met Malachi's god.
Oh.
Then fought the Empire. Oh, Rosalia Starhouse, dead.
Oh, awesome.
I know. Then we fought my dad, talked to my dad,
okay.
had some quality time, ripped apart an aboleth with him.
Wow.
And now we are going to bed.
Okay.
We're in Nephtis. You ever heard of Nephtis?
Oh, it's a great question. I'm gonna roll for them. They shake their head and they're like, no, is that, where is that?
Underwater.
Oh, okay. Sort of a slow nod.
Like all the best things.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen the adventurer at all?
No. Oh, but we did see Ben. He was here.
Really?
We're in the Aberrant Sea, sitting on the seafloor. Ben was here, doing some... I can assume that they filled me in on their investigations.
Yeah.
He bought a special pearl and hired some mercenaries for something. And then I turned him into a snail, and he teleported away.
While he was a snail?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was sort of simultaneous spells.
Okay. Nell kind of puts it together and is like, okay, so it probably wasn't his spell then.
Right.
Huh. All right. That's interesting. I don't really know what to make of that. And you're not sure, I guess, where she is now.
No.
Well, okay. So what I wanted to Right. I'm glad to hear you guys are all okay. Really glad to hear the High Priestess is dead. We hadn't heard anything about where she was. So that's great. Also glad you met Malachi's god.
Well, she's in the Lurker's stomach.
Excellent. I'm perfectly happy with that.
You know who wasn't? Malachi. He did not like it in there.
Malachi got swallowed by the Lurker?
Yeah, briefly.
But he's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You guys are pretty strong. I believe this.
You know, Malachi's always getting swallowed by stuff.
Yeah.
Never by the stuff that matters.
Malachi just mutters that in his sleep.
Yeah. Tossing and turning in the sleep bubble. So what I wanted to say, we managed to get in touch with Shiloh's relatives in Erebrer. She's got like an uncle and her grandma, apparently, who are around the king's court in Erebrer. And we haven't been able to talk with them for very long. It's like this weird cobbling together of her artificer magic and their like druid and ranger magic. But what we did learn is that the adventurer has not shown up in or made contact with Erebrer. The king hasn't heard from her. Apparently, the rumor that's going around is that AAA was destroyed at Retval's tower. That's like the story that Lithios is spreading, is that all of us, the three of you included, were killed there.
Whoa.
Erebrer does have like enough...
Oh god, maybe I can be dead and walking up and around.
Erebrer does have enough like spies and agents and stuff that they learned that that a lot of the laboratory equipment and weapons and such had been destroyed. But they didn't know that any of us were still alive. So the adventurer has not made contact with Erebrer, which is weird, first of all. I don't really know, like, that seems like an important alliance for her to maintain, and I don't really understand why she wouldn't. But it might be a good opportunity for us. If we can get to the king's court before she has a chance to talk to them, we can be like, hey, don't trust the adventurer. Also, we're here to help if we can help. Because we're kind of a skeleton crew at this point, but I mean, you guys are pretty strong, and we've got some strong people here too.
Oh, I thought we killed the skeleton crew that was at Solomon Cove.
Right, yeah.
All the zombies, we dealt with that, right?
Yes. No, don't worry. No more skeletons.
Okay.
So if we can get to the king's court, or if you guys can get to the king's court, that would be good. I just am not sure how precisely to do that. I was wondering if you had any thoughts.
Boy, have I got great news for you, Nell.
Yeah?
I can teleport anywhere in the world.
That is great news. That is really...
Yeah, anywhere with water, but, it's an oceanic world.
Most places have water, yeah.
That's sort of the theme we have going here.
Yeah. Oh, that is... Yeah. How many people can you bring?
Anyone who's standing near me.
Phenomenal. Can you do that, tomorrow?
Yeah, sure.
Because if you could come pick us up, and then we could all go to Erebrer and talk to the king.
Well, I can only do it once a day.
Oh. Okay. So either you all could go there tomorrow, or just by yourselves, or you could come pick us up tomorrow, and then we could all go to Erebrer together the next day.
Okay.
I don't think there's any, as far as I'm aware, there isn't much of a difference between us getting there tomorrow, or between any of us getting there tomorrow or the next day. I'd sort of love to get to talk to the king and explain our whole situation and also have all of us in one place. But if you all thought it was better to get there sooner, that's also fair. And once we talked it, Erebrer has magical resources that can be used to move people as well. We just sort of need to convince King Monanon of that.
Okay. I guess... So you think the better move is to take the extra day to get all of us?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I think. But, I mean, I'm a little selfishly motivated here. I would love to be there,
Okay. Well, I guess I'll talk it over with Regin and Mal.
Yeah. If you don't come to pick us up, just, I don't know, sending us or dream us or whatever and let us know.
Yeah, will do.
Okay.
So?
Malachi specifically wanted Finn to ask about the plants at the cove.
Oh, also, I wanted to ask, how are all the plants that Malachi juiced up doing there?
Shockingly well for the fact that we haven't seen the sun in over a week. Yeah, they're like, the trees are already like waist high, which is crazy.
Nice.
It's been nice. Morale is generally okay. People are still, a little bit scared and either anxious to not be in the scary dark cove or anxious to be helping and doing something instead of feeling like they've been sidelined. But generally, we've been keeping everyone okay, so.
Nice. And nobody's fishing?
No.
All right.
You can make an insight check if you want, Andy.
Oh. 9.
Okay. That seems true. Probably.
All right. Well, let's keep it that way.
Mm-hmm. They do a little salute.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No, that was mostly just, wanted to let you guys know about the Air situation and see if you had ideas about how to get there, which obviously you do, which is awesome. And also make sure that you were okay since it'd been a while and we knew you were doing dangerous things. But glad to hear it's all going well.
Appreciate it. Yeah, and everything's good there, too.
Okay.
Great.
Is this...
Say hi to Baleen for me.
Oh, yes, for sure, we will. Is this, like, what it looks like in the...
Oh, it could...
No, but I mean, like, is this what it looks like where you are, or did you just sort of conjure this?
Oh, I just sort of conjured this.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's sort of similar vibes, but...
Great. All right.
This is my own little creation.
I'd love to hear the full... I'll have to get the full story from you all.
Oh, we've got 7 hours and 50 more minutes of this. I can give you the whole story.
Great! Yeah.
The spell lasts all night.
Awesome. They sort of, like, sit down and you play the last 15 episodes of this podcast for them.
So, we set out from Solabon Cove. You want more cotton candy?
And I think that's where we can end our episode, I think. And we will deal with deciding how exactly you want to go about going to Erebraer and the actual doing of that next time.
Nice.
Nice. Good job, team.
I should see if Nell has any good girl advice.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed that, which we certainly hope you did, you can find us other places on the internet. We are at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. Or you can sail on over to patreon.com/shipoffools to support our show and get access to our Patreon exclusive bonus content. Again, that's patreon.com/shipoffools. We have a couple people we need to thank. Thank you, as always, to Theo Golden for our beautiful logo art. You can find him at tgoldenart on Instagram. Thank you also to Lucas Mangold for our theme music. You can email him at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com for any and all of your music needs, or probably just to say hi. And you can find us back here again with a new episode on March 7th. And until then, we will see you on the open seas. Bye! We just sort of need to convince King Mananon of that.
Mana.
Mananon. King Mananon.
And he doesn't have a last name. Because he's monanonymous.
Shut up.
Can we kick Andy off the podcast?
That's all, folks. Goodbye.